Oh, gosh,
Or your tail, yeah.
she's tough.
It wasn't like the class that Nikki does, with the senior citizen ladies.
Tiffany's definitely gonna be challenging.
Because I like that one, I don't go home sweaty.
You might shake a little in this one, sometimes she has us balance a little bit.
I'm sure, because when I'm Nikki, you know, we use the chair drawer, and you know, I hold on to do my
Sure.
leg lift thing, all that.
You'll see me come up here and hold on to this if I need to, or hold on to a fork.
I don't want to have to.
That's totally fine.
Yep, that's absolutely fine. We are gonna start out standing up and then we'll move quickly to the mat. But I wanna get some blood flowing first to get a little bit warmed up. So let's take it to upward reach. And we're gonna wanna take your shoes off.
Oh.
Down into our forward fold.
Okay. Perfect.
No.
No wonder everybody's standing on their mats. Okay.
And upward reach. And forward fold. Upward reach. This time when we do our forward fold, I want you to bend it down and a big swoop up. And one more time. And one more. Interlace those fingers. Take it over to the right. And over to the left. Kind of pulling back. Back to the center. Back behind this. Stretch that chin up to the ceiling. And big sweep down to forward fold. Up. And straight leg forward fold. Let's step back into our plank, leading with the right foot. We're going to drop down to our knees. And we're going to come down low push up into cobra. We're going to push back into our child's pose. Release into our blocks where our wrists are right underneath our shoulders and our knees are right underneath our hips. We're going to round into the cat. Pull those shoulder blades apart, chin comes to chest. Really pushing up like a scared cat at Halloween. And down into the cow like an old milk cow. Shoulder blades come together, really arching that back. I want to think about using that. All of our lungs and all of our belly when we're breathing. Come to a neutral spine. We're going to push back into downward facing dog so we curl our toes under and push back. Hips coming up to the ceiling. And we'll walk our feet into our hands, into our forward bend. Head comes up, arms to a T, all the way up into upward reach. We're going to come into our chair, big arm sweep, like we're sitting down into a chair. Big arm sweep up into upward reach. We're gonna come down into the pose. It's called garland. Our feet are about hip distance apart, and we drop those hips right in the center of our feet. Only coming as far down as we can. Keep that. Awesome.
Huh?
That is excellent.
I'm just trying to follow.
You're doing great. That is really, really good. That is great flexibility. Upward reach into our chair. Upward reach. And go garland again. Upward reach. And chair. Upward reach. Garland. We'll go a couple more times. Maybe my knees will quit popping, maybe not. And chair. Upward reach. Garland. Upward reach. And chair. Upward reach. And garland. Golly, I kept meaning to text you. Were you sore after Tuesday night? Upward reach. Oh my gosh, I was. Forward fold.
From which part? The handstands?
Oh, I don't know. My legs have moved. That was.
You must have done something at CrossFit that I didn't do.
No. I think it was the yoga.
I would have remembered if I always do.
All right, we're going to step back into our plank, leading with the left foot this time. So, if you can go from here into our low push-up into cobra, then that's awesome. If not, drop down to your knees again. But we're going to go low push-up into cobra. Sit back into our child's pose. Release into our box, round into the cat, down into the cow. We're going to come to a neutral spine. We're going to take our right hand and left leg out. Opposite hand, opposite leg. Squeeze that high knee. Let that back leg straight.
You're rocking this, Joe.
Switch to the other side.
You are great.
That breath, keep that core engaged. We're going to switch again. And again. Release it back to the center. We're going to push back into that downward facing dog. Big breaths here, pushing us hips up to the ceiling, heels down to the floor. We'll take that right heel up into the air, high as we can. Okay, just go as high as you're comfortable with and stop it, bring it down. Yep, we're going to switch to the other side. Just loosen those hips up a little bit. Bring it down, we're going to switch again. And again. And again. Last time. And we'll walk our feet into our hands, into our forward bend. Head comes up, arms to a T. All the way up into upward reach. And chair. Upward reach. And garland. Upward reach. Chair. Upward reach. Garland. reach. Chair. Upward reach. Garland. We're gonna come on down to the
Was graceful, but.
not a requirement, thankfully. All right. So if your feet are warm enough, you can take your socks off so you don't slide around on your mat.
Socks off now? We do?
I generally like for you not to wear your socks because I don't want people sliding. In poses like downward facing dog, you can have that tendency of those feet to slide on the mat. You don't want to do that. Shoulders back and down, chest open and lifted. What do you think about a big gorilla chest? Not arching our back, but a long, strong spine. Clear your head, focus on your breath. I want that belly to move. Don't want our shoulders up here. I want those shoulders back and down. That belly's moving, strengthening that core, supporting our upright position. Drop our right hand down and then curl that left hand overhead. You can come down to the elbow on this right hand without lifting up a hip.
Yeah.
Then come down to the elbow. If you lift your hip off the mat, I don't want you to come down to your elbow. Only come as far down as you can keep both hips on the mat. We're going to switch to the other side. Oh. We're going to switch again. This time we're reaching out with that top hand as far as we can. Reaching out like we're trying to get something on the top shelf. You want to feel that stretch come up into that scapula, tricep area. And we're going to switch to the other side. Release it back to the center. We're going to reach out in front of us as far as we can. Drop that neck down. We're going to walk our hands back into center. Shoulder check, shoulders are back and down, our chest is open and lifted. Big breath. Let's switch our legs. Shoulders back and down, chest open and lifted, long, strong spine. Reach our hands all the way up. We're going to release right hand to left knee, and left hand comes back behind us.
Look back behind us, throw that head back.
Let's do the other side. Arms sweep up. And twist. Arms sweep up. And twist. And get my internal rotating shoulder back to be externally rotated. That's the granny one. Back to the center of the arm sweep up. And we'll release. Reaching out the farthest as far as we can. We're gonna walk our hands back into center. Shoulders back and down, chest up and lifted. Please change your feet, flat on the mat. Alright, so this is a very adjustable stretch. And we are going to take our right foot, cross it over our left knee. So, a lot of times it's a whole lot easier to start out about right here. So straighten that bent leg out as much as you need to, and gradually work it back in. Get a good stretch in your hip. You're gonna reach it. You don't want to go, you don't want it to hurt, okay? We're just trying to open up those hips, work on our mobility. So you don't want it painful, okay? You just want a gentle stretch, okay? Okay, so if you need to, like I say, straighten that leg out some, because I don't want you curling back like this. I want a long, strong spine. You want to be in this position with our shoulders back and down. You can reach in between that leg, it makes it a little bit easier. Let's circle that foot. Background music to this.
The drum set going over there.
Yes, it's always my popping body. I have loosey-goosey joints, so I have lots of gas in, and so I am constantly popping.
Your music's a lot different than Tiffany's.
Yes, it is.
Motley Crue is a lot different than that.
Right? All right, let's switch to the other side. And if you're not getting much of a stretch, then pull that foot in closer to your hip. Pull your bent leg in closer.
I think I'm getting a good enough stretch.
Remember, it's a long, strong spine. We're not curling. Shoulders are back and down. Release that. Still work our hips. Let's lean in. All right, let's bring it into our cobbler. We're going to come forward, curl over it. Pound angel. release that. All the way back to their legs right where they are. Arms come out to a T. Hopefully, Alice, some of this is going to get that hip flex with it. Little tiny movement. I want you to just tilt those hips up towards the ceiling so that you pull that low back down into the mat. Leaving our legs right where they are. Don't hold your breath. The shoulders are trying to help me. Don't do that too. Keep the shoulders on the mat. Just that little tiny movement, okay? Squeezing that honey. Pushing that low back down to the mat. And we're going to release that down to a natural spine. Curl it back again.
That's not hard to squeeze your hiney in this position. I'm like, squeezing, but I'm like, oh, I know you guys else. I don't know. Try not to hold.
I can't.
That's what I find hard. One more time. I'm going to bring your knees together, legs come to tabletop. We're going to cross our right ankle over our left knee. Reach in between our legs and pull those knees in towards our chest. We're going to switch to the other side. Drop those feet down to the mat with our legs staying bent. And we're going to raise our hips up into our bridge. Hips come up off of the mat. We're going to straight line from our shoulders to our knees. Arms come by our side. Really push those hips up. Cross that right ankle over our left knee, keeping those hips raised. Still breathing. We're going to switch side. Try to use those glutes instead of those hamstrings. Release our left foot back down, stay in our bridge. Release those hips back down to the mat, legs come back up to tabletop, arms come out to a T. We're going to drop both knees over to the right. Let's switch to the other side. Want that bottom knee definitely to be on the floor. The top knee can be floating. If it can come all the way down to meet the other knee, that's awesome. If not, that's fine. Just wanting to get a good stretch on that outer hip. Not where it hurts. I'm not pushing that leg down. I'm just letting it relax down. Listen to our breath. We try to get a little bit deeper into each stretch with that exhale. Just lets our body relax just a little more. And then take it back to the center. We're going to grab our big toes and straighten those legs out. Only as far as it's comfortable. Keep a little bend in there if you need to.
We're a big bend.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Release back to tabletop. Grab our shins. We rock back and forth, and we're going to roll all the way on up into our forward fold. Head comes up, arms to the T, all the way up into upward reach. We bring it back into a forward fold. And step back into our plank again, maybe with the right foot this time. We're going to take it to a low push-up hold. Drop to our knees if you need to. And we'll release all the way on down to the mat. We're going to take our arms out to a field goal position. So 9 degrees. Okay. We're going to leave our right hand down. We're going to bring our left hand in by our chest. We're going to curl that left leg back behind us. Now, okay, if that's too much of a stretch in your shoulder, I want you to straighten this arm out. Okay? So, we can be here, stretching that shoulder out, need to, we're here, stretching that shoulder out. Okay?
Is the stretch more about our shoulder or our hips?
Shoulder. So, come out to a 90-degree angle, Jenna, with that bent arm.
Is it not 90?
It looks like it might be in a little bit. So yeah, you should feel that coming through your pectoral muscle, and your front of your shoulder, the rotator cuff.
I wasn't feeling much in my head, but I feel a lot in my head with my arms straight out. That's why I was asking you which stretch we're at.
Yeah, we are definitely at through the shoulder. Now we're going to switch to the other side. Still breathing, and we're not going to where it hurts. We're just going to where it's a good, gentle stretch. And we're going to bring it back to the center. Okay, and release our hands back behind us. Just going to raise our shoulders up. Stay with me all right now. On down to the mat. Shoulders roll forward. And back. This time we're going to lift the legs also.
Not the time to tell a funny joke right now.
Yeah.
Let's release on down. Anytime if we're interlacing our fingers back behind us and it's too difficult, I have a crabby shoulder. Sometimes it won't allow me to do certain things.
I got two bad shoulders.
So what you can do is you can take that towel and hold that instead. Let's release it on down. Hands come in by our chest. Press up into cobra. And sit back into our child's pose. Release into our box. Walk our hands up just a little bit, inch or two in front of us. Low push up, and I want you to raise those feet up off of the mat. 45-degree angle roughly. And we'll go low push up into cobra again. And sit back into our child's pose. We're going to go through that circle a couple of times. box. Hands come out a little bit. Push up into cobra. Back to box. Hands come out. Feet come up. Push up into cobra. You're gonna release it to our box again. I'm gonna walk forward on the mat, 'cause I'm way back in the back.
I know, I keep scooting.
Right. Let's round into the cat. Down into the cow. Come to a neutral spot. We're gonna take our right foot in between our hands. We're gonna grab that towel. Pop it underneath that back knee. You're gonna push those hips down towards the mat. This knee is gonna come in front of your toes. And you're gonna feel a stretch here in this hamstring, here, the back leg, and the hip flexor. Okay, you want this foot firmly planted on the mat. You don't want your up on your toes. Whole foot's in contact with the mat. Just letting those hips drop down. Back up to a 90-degree angle. A little bit of balance here. Okay, you're gonna reach back for that back foot. Okay. Got the back foot? Okay. So, this angle needs to be 90. So you need to bring this foot forward. There we go. Okay.
Okay.
That's going to give you more stability. So we reach back for that back foot. Very nice. Excellent. It's called our archer. Now, if we want more of a stretch in that quad, over here in our back leg, tuck those hips up underneath us, pushing that pelvic bone forward. We're going to release that back foot. We're going to pull this front foot back underneath us, with the top of our foot coming against the mat. And come down into our pigeon.
Front side of your knee.
Okay, well, this way.
Yeah. If you can, if not, don't do it.
Like so.
Okay, and if you can straighten that back leg out a little bit. So what you're wanting to do is you're wanting to get a good stretch in this hip of the bent leg.
I feel like I'm doing good just do that.
Yeah, and that's where you need to stay. That's exactly where you need to stay, okay?
Okay.
All of these poses, that's what it's about. There are marks that are like what the textbook says, and then there's reality of what our body will allow us to do. So we get as close to what the textbook says as possible, and we go from there. And a gradually we get closer and closer and closer. So it is about incremental growth and change. That is it. Not sweeping, not gonna be tomorrow. You're
So if I don't get it, I'm not out the door.
Yeah.
Good.
No, not at all. All right, let's release that. We're gonna come back to that 90. Awesome. And bring it back into our box. Round into the cat. Round into the cow.
Oh, she's really pretty.
Come to a neutral spot. This time we're gonna bring that left foot up in between our hands. We're gonna take that towel, drop it behind on our right. Okay? Again, we're gonna push those hips down towards the mat. Foot stays planted on the mat. Okay? If we need to bring it forward a little bit, bring it forward. Just wanting to get that stretch in our hamstring and our hip flexor. How's it feel, Alice? Okay. I have one other thing that we might try. We'll set it for after class. Okay. Release. We're coming back to a 90 degree, and I really mean a 90-degree angle on here, okay? We're at that right angle, 90 degrees. We're not back here, we're at 90 degrees, okay? Get our stable base. We're gonna reach back for that back foot. And bring that front arm forward. Tuck those hips if you want a little bit more. Fall. A little more stretch in that quad. So, my tips on balance poses are always look down and squeeze your butt.
Not happening.
It just is it activates your glutes, which are such a big part of your stability. And that's why I say squeeze your butt instead of activate your glutes. So it's just kind of an easier cue. But those are two tips that I always use for balance. Looking down always helps me. We're going to transition into that pigeon. Right. There we go. Perfect. Just jump ship on this one.
Oh, she's just coming.
Gotta figure out a way. Hopefully she'll come on Tuesday.
Who's this, my sister?
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah.
So Joe, do you have, is there somebody in your family named Andrea?
Andrew. My brother's, one of his girls is Jenna. Andrew. No,
Maybe not Andrea.
that name don't ring a bell.
Audrey.
Let's release back into our box. Move our towel out, into the calf. Down into the calf. Curl curl those toes under and push back into downward facing dog. Always makes the poses a lot easier if you go ahead and walk out those arms. Anytime you're getting strength through the arms and shoulders, the walked out arms make us much more stable and make the pose a whole lot easier, just as an FYI. Let's walk our feet into our hands, into our forward fold. Head comes up, arms to the T. Believe it or not, it's time for legs against wall. So, we're going to come to flex against wall. So you'll bring your mat over here, close to the wall.